what is a process or a thought that you recommend when someone, say we are making progress, we are doing something to help our system, our body, help us show up in the world more authentically, and we regress? What is your thought process on how we can kindly
Mhm.
reset again and continue our hopeful path?
The big thing with that is making room for it, knowing that that's going to come up for us and not
Hmm.
shaming ourselves for it or trying to push it away or resist it. When you notice those old patterns come up and be like, okay, I see you and I feel you. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to protect me, but I
Hmm.
have tools now and I have resources now that actually do protect me. If
Hmm.
those things are still coming up, allow them to be seen, allow them to be heard, allow them to have a voice, and then
Hmm.
come from a more evolved version of yourself that you are today to say, I see you and I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you then, but I'm here for you now to let you have that space. And that allows
Love
it
it.
to be dissolved.
What if the best chapter of your life hasn't even begun yet? What lies within you is the power to live brighter, bolder, and truer than ever before. So, welcome to Vivatude, where caregiving, connections, and career come into balance, and where your vitality, vision, and voice shines through. Because the revolution isn't out there, it's already within you. Welcome to Vivatude.
Welcome back, everybody. Tracy Cromwell here, and I'm with Dr. Kelly Kessler, and we're talking about how our mindset and stress can impact your body. And I was talking to you on break about, the aspect of how it can actually, for me, when I started doing this work years ago, sometimes I'd feel empty inside, like something, I'd be relaxed, and then my brain would be like, something's wrong, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
What causes that,
Yeah.
in us?
So our brains move in the direction of what's most familiar. So if you have lived your life for say 20, 30, 40 years of feeling the stress response and
Hmm.
giving to others and sacrificing yourself, that's what you know. That's what you're comfortable with. So even if it's
Hmm.
not serving you, you've become very accustomed to living that way. So the
Hmm.
minute you start to flip the script, you start to change things, your system's going to be like, "Oh my gosh, what is going on?" Like because it's not familiar, it's uncomfortable, and it's actually can feel a little stressful when you're making changes. That's
Hmm.
why you tend to get in the same patterns over and over and over again because that feels safe. It's efficient. You know how to do that. You know how to play that role. It's the same reason why you start a New Year's resolution and then by February, most people have stopped and gone back to their old patterns because
Hmm.
there's a sense of safety and like, this is predictable. I know the outcome of this. I know what's going to happen. And when you tune into your body in a different way, you start to give it a different stimulus, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It doesn't mean you're
Hmm.
on the wrong path because it feels uncomfortable. It actually means it's good because once something feels uncomfortable, that means you're growing, you're expanding, you're creating new wiring in your brain for a better service to yourself. But
Hmm.
it's good to be aware of that, that when you are changing and adapting things in your life, that there is going to be this sense of like, oh, this doesn't feel right. This feels awkward or this feels weird. Like my
Hmm.
body, I'm noticing things. Take that as evidence that you're on the right track, that you're, and don't take it as evidence that you're on the wrong track because you can easily use your mind to be like, no, 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 we got to go back to what I was doing because that felt better or safer. It really is moving through that, and then that will become your new norm. That will be what's most familiar the more you practice that.
Yeah, incredible, because it was interesting to me
Mhm.
that I was worried. Why don't I feel this hyperness? Or, I'll have it when I'm having a good time. Like, I love talking with you, so I'm excited. I have a little bit of that edge in me right now that I'm
Yeah.
happy or whatever.
Mhm.
But I realized that I used to carry it with me all the time, and usually it wasn't always the happy one. It was more of that judgmental, I'm not doing enough, those kinds of things.
Yeah. That's
And
where self-sabotage can come in too. Then you get back to the
self-sabotage,
old
right?
patterns. Mhm.
I found though too, sometimes my body wants to reset, or my brain does. So
Mhm.
when things go, so when my husband passed away, it was amazing how all of a sudden I wanted to go back to these behaviors long before he and I even were together as a way to feel like I had some control. And I was like, Tracy, which I was so grateful for my education that I have, was I saw it. I said,
Yeah.
this is not going to serve you. But it was an interesting aspect of trying to overcome where I wanted the popcorn, my safety popcorn. I wanted to have wine, and I wanted to do these things like, and it was hard to get up and exercise, So it was interesting. I went into that mode of some old habits, and about 30 days in, I'm like, wait a second. No, 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 no. This is not serving me. I feel worse. I'm
Yeah.
not capable of thinking. And that's another thing. It's just that I find when I'm stressed, and you may see the same, I don't think as clear. I
Mhm.
will make instant choices. I will get, and people have heard my podcast before. They know I'm going to go, I want to go get Skittles or Runts. That's just,
Mhm.
I have been a sugar addict since I was a kid, eating sweet tarts. So that is something that I still, my system all these years still sometimes thinks that's a good idea. And I'm like, no, we don't do that. So it is interesting to hear you say that. And what about, what is a process or a thought that you recommend when someone, say we are making progress, we are doing something to help our system, our body, help us show up in the world more authentically, and we regress? What is your thought process on how we can kindly
Mhm.
reset again and continue our hopeful path?
The big thing with that is making room for it, knowing that that's going to come up for us and not
Hmm.
shaming ourselves for it or trying to push it away or resist it. When you notice those old patterns come up and be like, okay, I see you and I feel you. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to protect me, but I
Hmm.
have tools now and I have resources now that actually do protect me. And I'm just going to
Hmm.
love into you. Thank you for showing me that you want me to go back to some of these old patterns because that is that protection that I used at some point to fill that void. But I have other ways to help that now. But thank you for showing me. It's just giving that part of you a voice and not trying to push it away because what we resist persists and it's just going to come
Hmm.
in stronger. So allow it to be
Hmm.
there and notice that it will probably some of those things will always be there. I mean, I still have patterns that I see in myself of like, oh my gosh, like you mentioned years ago, like things that you experienced. I see the 20-year-old version of myself coming up and being like, no, let's do this. And that is just evidence that there are probably parts of you from that time in your life that need to be heard, need to be seen, need to be loved, and
Hmm.
have a space to be expressed because probably you shut yourself out for much of that time and quieted that voice down and just push forward. But if
Hmm.
those things are still coming up, allow them to be seen, allow them to be heard, allow them to have a voice, and then
Hmm.
come from a more evolved version of yourself that you are today to say, I see you and I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you then, but I'm here for you now to let you have that space. And that
I
allows
love
it
it.
to be dissolved.
I love it. And I think well, I don't think I know one of the most important things you said was um, non-judgmental
Mhm.
acknowledgement, and then also know it's going to come up.
Mhm.
Things happen that are going to trigger us. So non-judgmental acknowledgement and and allowing ourselves to see it without judgment. And that for high achievers can be a bit of a challenge.
Can be. It's like a muscle. You have to build on it. So start with the little things. Like if it's
Yep.
you keep going to this little vice, and maybe it's like that glass of wine you want every night, and be like, okay, I'm gonna like start with that. Maybe that's a small win that you can start with before you
Hmm.
dive into some of the bigger things that really kind
Absolutely.
of have a hold on you. It's building that muscle and knowing that you just keep on
Yeah,
putting in that bucket of like, I'm here for myself. I show up for myself.
I love it. Okay, everybody, we're going to break one more time and we'll be right back with Dr. Kelly Kessler. And she's going to let us know how we can find her. All right, we'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I'm Tracy and I'm here with Dr. Kelly Kessler. And so we sure have learned a lot from you today. I am so appreciative of you taking the time to meet with us. And my takeaway from today, it's just that we can start with small steps that we have aspects of just not being aware as women who are basically initial carers, right? That we push ourselves and to a point, and that we can take small steps to help ourselves, number one, know our body, be aware of the physical aspects that are happening in our body so we can take specific steps to move forward. So, with that, Dr. Kelly, can you let us know how to find you and what you do and how you work with clients?
Sure, absolutely. So the best way to find me is through my website. That's drkellykessler.com. On there, I have free resources for boundaries, recognizing if you are neglecting yourself or if you are respecting yourself. So just the ability to have that awareness. But the way I work with my clients is through the nervous system and subconscious mind reprogramming. So recognizing how can we create that safety in our body, feel safe within ourselves so we don't have that need for the external world in receiving that safety. So harnessing that safety within ourselves through the body, and then also recognizing the beliefs that we have within ourselves that are holding us back, keeping us stuck in these patterns that are not serving us, and how we can retrain those and reformat our life and live with more freedom and joy.
I love it. Thank you so much again for being here. And everyone, yes, go to Dr. Kelly's website and be sure to check out the different segments that we already talked about today. And just be, I say just lightly, but yeah, be okay taking some time for you. Be okay setting a little timer. If it means 60 seconds, start with 60 seconds, right? So, and then also know that, high achiever in me, I can be a perfectionist. What is perfection? There really is, I don't think it exists, right? I don't know
No,
about you, Dr. Kelly.
yeah, it's this unattainable standard that's only going to guarantee that you feel like you're not enough. Perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
focus on progress.
yeah, so we'll be kind to ourselves, non-judgmental, and be open to the unknown. And as Dr. Kelly said, breadcrumbs. Follow your path with even if it's just a small path of breadcrumbs. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thanks again for being here. And I will see you on my next episode of Vivatude, where we are working with physical and environmental wellness. We'll see you soon.
And thanks for listening to Vivatude. 4 hosts, 1 each week. We help you revivitude your next chapter because purpose, passion, and prosperity isn't out there. They're already within you. Brighter, bolder, truer. Vivatude.